Perfect, I can't see any of you. Class of 2023, congratulations, you did it. Huge round of applause. And might I add, in person. So that's a huge achievement already. 10 years ago, I sat in your exact seat, excited and certain that my path was set for me. You see, 10 years ago, my journey started off quite differently than what it looks like today. Being the daughter of an entrepreneur, my father expected me to graduate and come back home and run his company distributing cosmetics. Every girl's dream, right? Free makeup, skincare, done. Well, 2 months into my job, I spoke to my father and told him, when I'm ready, I'll come back. I quit that day. He asked me, for 4 years, you prepared in college for you to come back and work with me, and you're ready to just throw all of that away? Although I disappointed him that day, I just knew in my gut that I was in the wrong place. I wanted to go out there, see the world for myself, gain experience as a real entrepreneur, to prove to myself that I deserved to be in a position of leadership, not that I had inherited it. Despite that feeling of disappointing a parent, I knew that following my instinct was the right way to go, and that eventually they would be proud of me. Well, all my courage took quite a dip right after I quit. I locked myself in my room for months when one day my mother came by with a Post-it note from my brother. On this note, it said the name of a person and a company. And my mother said, "Get dressed and go." I went off to explore what I studied for 4 years, entrepreneurship. Well, I started off as an intern, earning about 1,000 dirhams a month. I barely could afford lunch and gas to go back and forth from work. Of course, my parents were definitely not proud of me at that point, but I knew that what I was working for was something much bigger. I was working towards my future. Fast forward a few years into my career, 2015, my path took another sharp turn. I got asked a very special but difficult question. The question was, tell me about your biggest achievement. I responded really quickly. I said, I'm the leader of Startup Weekend Dubai. We organize hackathons. And that person looked at me like this and said, that's it? And I was a bit taken aback. I thought that was pretty big. Startup Weekend is a global organization, pretty cool. But what I had thought I had left my father's business to pursue, which was my big dream, a lot bigger than myself, I realized after talking to this person that I wasn't working exponentially. I was working linearly. That person who asked me that question actually was somebody who worked at Hult. Definitely a big factor of why I decided to accept to come and speak to all of you here today. And I'm definitely a believer in fate. So it's my turn to ask you, Hult, what is your biggest achievement? It's not an answer you should be able to say straight away, but when you do, I think someone's ready to give me his answer. I want you to think big. Think about the story you're going to start building for yourselves, the ones that will feel right for you, challenge you, and set you off on your path exponentially. What they asked me to do was to think about what I wanted to do next in my career, yes. But it was to really set a bigger challenge for myself, something that would impact many more people than just myself. It's something that would make me want to work hard, stay focused, for the next 10, 15 years. That person asked me to create my massive transformative purpose, and that's what I want to share with you today. I want to make the world a smaller place by connecting brilliant entrepreneurs, investors, and accelerators from around the world together in seconds. And anybody who believes in this vision as well, please find me after this talk. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, says Lao Tzu. To you, the class of 2023, your next few years are going to be filled with uncertainty, ups and downs, but most importantly, they will be a part of the story you are carving out for yourself. This is one thing that your school, your parents, your peers will not train you to understand in any environment. It is something that you have to teach yourself, which is how to build your massive transformative purpose. A few of you might leave here today and join a Fortune 500 company in a very prestigious position. And with that, I congratulate you. But while you're there, I ask you to really look inside and ask yourself this question. Is this me pursuing my massive transformative purpose? Or am I just building the next part of my journey? Like many of you here, I'm not from the UAE, I'm an expatriate. My family had left the war in Lebanon to build a family here, a life here. I watched them start and close businesses. I saw what passion and struggle looked like up close. And it recharges me towards my vision anytime I feel lost or unfocused. And I challenge you all to find that same flame. What ignites you? Being an entrepreneur might just be the hardest thing I have ever done. And I quit 4 or 5 times a day. But I wouldn't have it any other way. They say you pick your poison. If you don't choose your sacrifices, then life will. You have the rest of your life to figure out who you are and what you want to do with your life. But start asking yourself this question. If not now, then when? Let your goals guide the next chapter of your life. Show up on time. Give it your all. But ask yourself when you wake up in the morning, is what you're doing from 9 to 5 worth it? Are you feeling valued? And are you getting closer to your MTP? Life tested me one day as I stood in front of the elevator going up to my office. I prayed that the elevator would not come down. But that moment, when I felt uncomfortable, was the moment that moved me. It changed me to be a better person. I didn't quit soon after that, but I knew that I had to get out of this prison. And a lot of you here might join companies or positions where you feel the same, and I encourage you to let that struggle move you in the right direction. As Hult students, I have no doubt that this school is graduating some of the top students who will go off to take on big challenges and solve big problems. I know this because all the time you have spent in the classroom working on real case studies, you have earned a knack for looking for problems. Now look to your right and to your left. You are surrounded by brilliant minds. If you just put your heads together, you can solve some of the world's biggest problems. Good things take time. Finding your MTP is not going to be something that will happen overnight. For many people, they don't even start to look for it until their 40s, 50s, and even 60s. Now is your time to go out there and do it. 10, 15, 20 years from now, I want to hear what is your massive transformative purpose. And 10 years from now, I want to hear what is your biggest achievement. Thank you.